Hello and welcome to this Studio Brutal video. Here I'm going to run down how I made this dubstep loop that you can hear in the background. It's real simple. It's a drum beat, sub bass, and then like sort of a wub, an aggressive sort of barking wavetable type bass line that you can that you get in lots of different types of dubstep. So yeah, let's get going. Before that, real quick, you can get these two wavetable presets for Ableton in the description below, and with the article that goes with this as well. They're free, they're totally free, and also this is free as well. I've used my own 808 samples that I processed myself, and I'll link that in the description below. So yeah, let's get going. So yeah, let me just solo the beat. We'll start with the beat. So yeah, for a dubstep beat, you want something. I've set the BPM to 145. But it's essentially the drums, the kicks and the snare are basically half time, so they're almost like you've got like a 72.5 BPM. Let me delete the hats. So I mean, that could almost be like a 70 BPM hip hop record, slow hip hop, apart from those doubled up kicks. So yeah, it's a slow kick and snare, and then you add in like normal speed hats, which are quite simple, to give it that sort of rushing. It's slow but rushing. The hats are like quick and rushing, but the beats are slow. And the beats are processed with it's all an 808 kit, and I want two short hats, so I'm using a closed hat and the maraca for the hats, so they're both quite short hats, and the 808 kick and snare. And I'm using loads. I've added echo and reverb, and I don't know if you know this, but in the drum rack you can have your own sends that are not the global sends of Ableton, and you can affect them here. It's not a dial, it's just a number, but you can turn them in, and I'm giving tons of echo and reverb to the snare, and I've got it on all the other stuff as well a little bit, but it's all the way up on echo on the snare. And this is it, this is the send. You've got echo and then reverb, and the echo is cut, and I'm EQing off the bass, so it will reverb on the kick, but just the high end of it. And I've put a bit of error in it. I've changed these percentages on the left and right so they're a little bit off, so they're not so clinical and clean. And when you get long tails there, you know it's wider, you get some stereo interest. And then it's got quite a long decay time, which you can hear if I solo the snare. It's got I mean, you could whack it up even higher and even automate that actually in the track. But yeah, so yeah, that's the beat. There's screenshots of this in the article as well if you don't want to copy it up here, but that is basically it. Oh yeah, and there's another snare as well. There's a 707 snare here, which is just like an extra snare, almost like a clap, just at the end. And there's a double up in the kicks and in those snares at the end of the bar, just to give it a little rushing feeling at the end of the bar. And yeah, that's basically it for the drums. You can, if you want, shuffle them. Obviously dubstep really came from garage, and that has a lot of shuffle in it. Let me just add it. You can, if you don't know, you can add shuffle here. You click on groove. I'm just going to add one that comes with Ableton, the MPC one. You can hear that it's really shuffled now, and you can get that really off and weird shuffle, or I'd probably put it at like 20%, maybe more, to give it that sort of shuffle garagey feel if you want. And then you can apply that to everything in the track. But yeah, I'm going to leave it straight for now, but yeah, you can do that. And yeah, then the next element, there's only 3 elements in this: the drums and the sub, and then that wub. So yeah, the sub bass is made in wavetable. You can get the preset below. know if you can hear that, you might need headphones. But yeah, it's the key to the sub is this. Oh, you can see it on envelope 2. It's got like a slope, but it's curved. So if I show you on envelope 3, you can get a straight line attack on most envelopes. But if you go to the slope bit here, you can move the attack, and that's good. And that's going to give that sub like that sort of wub, that slow attack in. And especially if you then distort it afterwards, like I have done on drum bus and overdrive here, you can go too far with it. And yeah, so it gives it that sort of wub in the slow attack. And then on top of that, I have taken, you can see it moving here. And it's just a basic. Basically, it's just 2 sine waves. It's the default patch that you get in Wavetable. It's just 2 sine waves. I've detuned them, so it's just a thick sine wave, and then it's got that attack. And then after the attack, after the slow attack, it's got like an LFO that makes the filter come up and down. You can see it. So it like wubs away. So it just wobbles basically. And this is a key feature of dubstep, all of these things, but the LFO rate I've changed. So it's got this sine wave that makes it wobble, but the rate of the wobbling changes. So the envelope 2 changes the rate at which the LFO wobbles, so the wobbles get quicker. So it will have a slow attack from envelope 2, then it will start wobbling from LFO 1, but then the wobbles will get quicker. And if you listen to this, I'll turn it up. You can hear it's getting slower if I put it the other way. So it starts off at 1 speed and the wobbles change, and that's you have to sort of tweak it until it sounds rhythmical and fits in with your track. But loads and loads of dubstep sounds will have that on it, especially the basses. So yeah, you want the slow attack wub to make it wub. You want the LFO to make it wobble, even if it's just on the filter, and then you want to change the rate of that it wobbles and tweak it to taste. So yeah, that's the bass line, and then the next sound is this. Which basically uses similar techniques. So it's made in Wavetable. You can see it again. The filter down here is moving in the same way. It has got an envelope with a slow attack on. It's got a normal attack, but like a curved decay. And then again, I've got an LFO here that is making it wobble as well after that attack. And then again, the rate that it wobbles is being changed by the envelope. So it wobbles and then wobbles quicker basically, and that is not just doing the filter. It is doing the filter like the last one, but it's also changing the position on the wavetable, and that is a key feature of dubstep. If I make it the sound longer, hang on, you'll hear it better. And you can see it on this one. This one's just changing slowly with LFO2, but this one, oscillator 1, is moving. You can see here on the matrix, it's moving with this LFO. So if I change the rate at which the LFO changes speed, you'll hear this. And this is key to a lot of modern drum and bass lines as well as dubstep. If I change it the other way, it'll get quicker. So it gets quicker as it goes on. Sorry, it gets slower. I mean, it starts off quick and then gets slower because this LFO is speeding up basically. What was it on? That. So yeah, that's it. And also, what you want to do with dubstep. Let me take the oscillator off. Why is it changing? Oscillator 1 position. So what you want to do is you want to find like a sweet spot on oscillator 1 or 2 where it sounds good, and then move it slightly off it, and then you make the LFO wobble it so it moves across the sweet spot to get that wobbling sound. And whether you're using Massive or any other wavetable instrument, hardware or software, that is basically what you're doing in dubstep. You're making the filter wub, and you're making the wavetable move with an LFO and an envelope, or both, and then changing the rate at which it works with by modulating the LFO as well. And then this sound has got a ton of echo again and reverb on it to give it loads of space. And yeah, that's basically it. Really simple, just to show you the techniques, the drum programming, and the wavetable synthesis with LFO. But yeah, that is basically it. Use simple 808 beats. You can use whatever you like, but 808 is quite good. Slow kicks, slow snares, rushy hats, double up beats at the end, and then slow attack sub, and these mid-range barking, growling basses. Yeah, so yeah, that's it. You can get the samples, the 808 samples, and the both the wavetable patches for this in the description below. So yeah, have a look at that. And any questions or comments, or even requests for other drum beats and stuff to make, yeah, just let me know. Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, good luck with your music making, and have a good day. Take care. Goodbye.